it's here where it all begins again, from the same spot in which the real Formula One season starts since 1996. It's the Arbor Park in Melbourne, and this is the first race of the 2019 Formula Europe Champions League. And yes, it is. We're back and we are live. This is the first group. It's Group A tonight here in Melbourne. Then on tomorrow night and on Wednesday night, we also see on track Group B and Group C. As you can see, we have still 11 minutes before the checkered flag in the session. And first of all, let me introduce my guest tonight on commentary, Federico Andreossi. Please welcome.
Good evening everybody.
So, as you can see, 11 minutes to go. We already have some interesting time setting by now. We have SUV Nicolas Matteo in first place with a 20.1, 20.5 for J. Cole 19, 26 for Ryman in third place, 20.6 even for Sinestrak, that is in fourth right now, followed at 2 tenths by Simo Cacciaro in fifth place, sixth place for Re in 121.2 and 121.7 for F1 Optimus Prime. Federico, tonight we have the first 4 teams of the championship, and tonight we have the S2V, the Formula Nation, Formula Championship, and then F1 Polish team.
Yes, it will be interesting to see which level every team is a little bit, because we have some new teams in comparison to last year, so we'll have to see which value we have on track today, and this qualifying will be very interesting for that in particular. We can see already Matteo has set his 120.1 on super soft tires, so that's really impressive. That's a really good time, and he will be trying to put himself in an advantage position for the race if he wants to start with these tires. We'll have to see if he is going to try to go out on track again and try on the ultra softs, but for now he is in first place with this tire, so good job to him.
Yes, it's a good position for him at the moment. 9 minutes and 20 seconds to go, and in the meantime, F1 Hero Sgard is up into 6th place with a 121.000, so a perfect 121 on his timetable. And we have Stig on track. Stig that before we were live have tried his first attempt, but he was not so lucky. At the moment, Stig sets a 26.3 in the first sector. It's a new record in that sector, and 21.5 in the second sector is in line for getting the pole position. He's on ultra soft tire, and let's see what's he gonna do. Oh, very close to the wall. At the exit of the last corner, and Stig is on pole position in 1:19.9, and it looks like Nicolas Matteo will be back on track soon on ultra soft tires, because at the moment we can clearly see that the mechanics have put on his car a new set of ultra soft tires.
Stig is giving everything he's got and pushing it to the very limit, and we have seen how close he went to the wall. Indeed, you are talking about the fact that he went out for a first attempt. He had a tank slapper on his lap, and he was almost going to go in the wall, just entering the third sector. He decided to abort that lap, and now he has come out on track again and done a stunning job to put it on pole for now.
And another driver who did a stunning job at the moment is SUV Sergi MTZ. Even he sets also a 119.9, but he's just 7/10 of a second slower than F1 PL Stig that is on pole at the moment. And Nicolas Matteo, the man who was on pole position just a couple of minutes before the laps of Stig and Sergi, is on the finish line right now. He's on ultra soft tires, and he will try to catch pole position back again.
We'll see if he will be able to. We might think he is, because he did a great job on the super soft, but now it's a different story. It's all to start again with a new lap.
Matteo Pitaccio with the Renault, closing a fastest lap and is in 6th place, but he's almost 7/10 of a second from the pole position. In 6th place at the moment is Matteo Pitaccio. Optimus Prime also on the finish line with his Red Bull, and let's see what's he gonna do. It's in 10th place, so 1 second from the 119.9 set by his teammate Stig Ryman. Sets 120.0. He's only 1/10 of a second from pole position, but he's pulled away by Simo Casciaro, who's up into 4th, and look
at that!
In 4th and Sinestra again. How many drivers have improved their times in just less than 30 seconds?
We have 1, 2, 3, 4 drivers from 3rd place to 6th place, all in the
here it is!
Oh.
And that's
we were waiting for that. We were waiting for that.
It's a 1:19.312 for Nicolas Matteo, almost 6/10 of a second faster than Stig, and that's really impressive, I gotta tell you.
Wow, what a lap he pulled off.
He sets a 26.2 in the first sector, and it's a record for the sector 1. A very good 21.3 in the second sector and 31.6 in the third sector. He made the difference in the second sector.
And now Danny has joined him on the provisional first row.
So at the moment, with still 5 minutes to go, we have Nicolas Matteo and Dani for S2V locking the provisional first row of the grid.
How many times we have seen a Mercedes front row lockout, but
too many.
But this, we have still 4 minutes though, so nothing's over yet. And I was saying before, everyone put in the best of laps we have seen. We have 4 drivers in the 120.0, which are Sinestra, Lolleker, Simo Casciaro and Ryman. So very close in the midfield.
Yeah, they're very close at the moment, but the 2 drivers that at the moment have create the gap to the others are the 2 S2V drivers, Nicolas Matteo and Danny, that are actually in 1st and 2nd place. They are 2/10 from each other, and Stig is almost 4/10 from Danny MG time. He's almost 4/10 from the 2nd place at the moment. All the others are very close to each other, because as you can see, we have Stig with the 1:19.909. And then 1:19.9, 20, 20, 20, 20, 22, and then we have J. Cole, Pitaccio, Optimus Prime, and Nero Gods, and still we have no time set by Placha and Ruben VG. Could this be strategy? Maybe they want to try the hardest tire?
I think for Ruben it isn't, because I saw him coming out of the pits, and he did 1 lap on his previous set of Ultrasofts, but he might have got a corner cut or something like that. He didn't manage to finish his lap, so he went back to the pits and he's now out again.
Sergi MTZ actually is the only driver on track. He was on the same time of himself in the first sector. He improved himself of 1/10 of a second in the second, and let's see if he can improve his position. And yes, it is. He's in 3rd place with 119.799, and he's in 3rd place. So that means that actually we have 3 S2V drivers in the first 3 position of the grid with 2 minutes and a half to go before the end of the session.
And that's a really good job for the S2V team, and they will be trying to put their last driver in the mix as well, because that will put them in a very strong position for the race, because they might be able to control it from the start, from that high position they have for now secured themselves in the qualifying session.
And S2V Ruben VG is out on track right now. He is actually in the in the bottom of the grid, but he's on ultra soft tires, and he will surely try to give everything that he can. Let's see what the timetable says to us. The timetable says that we have Cacharo on track, but he's not improving even himself in the first sector. He's very slow. He's not improving of just a naked time, even in the second sector. So it looks like this one for Cacharo will not be a lap to remember. Maybe, don't know if he will think about the possibility to return to the pit. No,
for another one. He might be going for another lap. He has the time.
He has the time, but we don't know if he's gonna have the fuel. Let's see what's he gonna do. It's 120.069, and he's not improving. He's not improving. And Sergi is out of the section.
He might be done for the session.
Maybe.
He felt
maybe
he
the third place for him is good. Yeah. So let's see what's happening at the moment. 26.3 in the first sector for Sinestra. So be careful, because he's just 1/10 of a second from the time set by Nicolas Matteo. Let's see the second sector for Sinestra. It's at 21.4, and he's 2.5 tenths of a second from the pole position. And the lap of the Mercedes of Matteo has been cancelled. So the lap has been invalidated for the pole position setter, Nicolas Matteo. Ryman 1:19.497, wow. And he's up into second place. He stole the front row to the STV team, putting Danny MG in 12th place.
That was a really good job from Ryman. We know how fast he can be, and he's going to show us with this lap. That's a really good one, who puts him right in the front row. And now the checker flag drops.
26 for Lolacher in the first sector. He sets a 21.5 in the second sector. He is improving his lap time at the moment, but let's see what's he gonna do in the last sector, the third one. As you told us just a few seconds ago, the checker flag is on at the moment, so it's the last attempt for Lolacher. Let's see what's he gonna do. Another time. He's very, very close to the barrier at the exit of the last corner. He's improving, and he's in fourth place with 1:19.719. Lolacher puts himself in fourth place. And what do you think about? Do you think the race will be an affair between Formula Championship and SUV? What do you think about?
We have to see if the race pace, if this qualifying... Ruben in the meantime.
Ruben, yeah. Ruben is in fourth place, and Danny MG still in fourth. And Sinestra has improved himself, yes, because he had done a second lap after the first one, and with 1:19.682, he put himself into fifth place in the third row. And Ryman is out of the section. Maybe he was pushing for another fastest lap. Let me check the timetable. Looks like not. So actually, don't know what happened with him.
He just decided to retire and end the session there, because he didn't take the checker flag, so he had to return to the pits anyway, and maybe he decided to stop this way.
Okay, so we're just waiting for the standings, and here it is. So STV Nicolas Matteo with 1:19.312 gets the first pole position of the 2019 Formula Europe. He will be alongside Ryman on the first row. Then we have another two STV drivers, with Danny MG in third place and Ruben VG in fourth. Then Sinestra and Lolacher in fifth and sixth place. Seventh place for Sergi MTZ, followed by Ray 97.195 in 8th place. Then we have Stig in 9, J. Cole in 10, and out of the top 10 we have Cacharo and all the others. So as I was asking you before, looking at the standings, do you think that looking just at the first qualifying of 3 races, and Federico, I think we have a surprise right now, because it's raining on the grid.
Now I think it becomes really impossible to answer the question you were asking me, because this is a huge spanner in the works, I think, because we have rain in the race, and so this spices up it a lot, and I am really looking forward to that. We can see everything is going to be mixed up.
Yeah, talking about the fact that this is a race on 50% distance, my idea was that it was strange to see drivers on the last attempt taking 2 laps with the ultra soft tires, because Pirelli here have brought the ultra soft tire, the super soft tires, and the soft tires. So we have purple tires, red tires, and yellow tires tonight. It was strange to see them taking 2 laps on those tires, and that was the reason why they decide to do this way.
Yeah, I was really puzzled at some drivers deciding to go for 2 laps, because on the Ultrasoft the tire wear is super high here, and it is important to keep the tires as well as you can for the first part of the race, because it becomes a problem if they get too worn right at the end of the stint and you lose too much time. Now everything mixes up a little bit, but we can see the drivers are still on dry tires, so I don't know maybe if we are going to see a transition towards dry tires and dry conditions, or we are going to see this rain go even further.
Yes, it looks like drivers now are still on dry tires. Just checking the timetable, and yes, it is. We have all the drivers are on ultra soft tires at the moment. The only difference has been made by F1 Heroes God, that would start on super soft tires. Same super soft tires used for Optimus Prime, and soft tires for Polacca will start from the bottom of the grid in 15th place.
And this suggests me that this rain is going to go away, because it wouldn't make sense for drivers to fit on harder tires if they had to change them right away after a couple of laps. So either this rain is gonna stay like this for the entirety or a big part of the race, or it is going to go away.
Well, let's see what's gonna happen. Only time will tell us what will do, what the weather will do, and how the weather will act tonight. So drivers are back on the grid, 29 laps here in Melbourne. This is the first race of the 2019 Formula Europe Champions League. Let's see how the season will finally start. Cars are on the grid at the moment. They're just retaking their places. And there it is. 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And we're ready for the lights to go off. And it's go, go, go with the 2019 Formula Europe Championship season. And Ryman does a brilliant start, overtaking Nicolas Matteo in the first corner. And Nicolas Matteo with the switchback move on Ryman. There's been even a contact between them. They have to be very careful. We already have a yellow flag. And let's see what happened behind. Looks like Lolacker lost. He lost lots of places. He's on 14th right now, and Nicolas Matteo already on the in first place with more than a second of gap on Ruben and Danny. Ryman have lost so many places in the first few corners. He does make a brilliant start, but after the contact with Nicolas Matteo at the exit of turn 1, he lost another 2 places, and now he's in 4th.
Yeah, he dipped the tire into the grass, I think, and so he lost traction on the exit of turn 2. But now, yeah, at the back it's really going to be mixed up. And I just saw Optimus Prime going sideways, like right in front of Lolacker, who just about avoided him. And it could have been quite a nasty crash, actually. Very good job by Lolacker avoiding that.
Let's see what's going to happen. For sure, the one who gained the most advantage of the start was Simo Casciaro, that is now in 7th place. And he gained 4th position, and there's a problem down there for Sinestra. Sinestra goes on the grass at turn 13, and there's a contact again. Oh, again, it was a contact with the ass of J-Cole 19 in 9th place at the moment, but you can clearly see, I don't think it's my sensation, but the drivers at the moment are very, very careful, very gentle with the car. Looks like those tires are in a bit difficult at the moment.
Yeah, the conditions for sure are not ideal for these tires, so they have to be really, really careful. Going on the power like Lolaker back there, just about avoiding it to putting it into the wall. It's really, really treacherous, so they have to be really careful on that right pedal.
They have to be careful, but at the moment, Ruben VG spun at the exit of turn 5, and his teammate Danny hit him, and I think there was damage on the front wing of the Mercedes of Danny MG. Oh, that is a problem. That's a big problem, because now Ruben is in 10th place and Danny is in 12th with a front broken wing.
Yeah, and I think there was also a 5-second penalty for Ruben for illegal blocking.
Oh, Sinestra is already in trouble at the second lap. He already got 3-second time penalty by the game, and they are very bunched up with Sergi trying to attack and defending himself from Cacharo. Would you look at this? Cacharo is in 3rd place and provisionally on the podium right now, and J. Cole fighting with Stig on turn 16, and there's a contact between them with Stig going wide. And I think there's a car in the pit lane, and it's
Sergi.
Maybe he also received a damage.
Oh, yeah, I think he got involved. More 5 seconds.
And there's a big trouble for the S2V drivers. They were in the first 3 places of the standing before at the end of lap 1, and now they have 3 drivers on the bottom of the standings. How everything can change in a moment.
Yeah, that is really, really bad for the team. But now we can see they are trying a little bit of a different strategy. I don't know if it's a mistake by him, but Sergi has put on a set of intermediate tires, actually, green wall intermediate tires, which might fit these conditions a little bit better. But we have to see how the rain, in which direction the rain is going. And while Danny and Ruben are trying maybe to take advantage of the colder track and fit on a set of soft tires, which I think they will be trying to run until the end of the race.
Well, let's see, because I'm pretty sure that these soft tires are going to struggle a bit to go in temper, to go in the right operation window at the moment. So let's see what's going to happen, because we have Placha, Danny NG and Ruben VG with the soft tires at the moment, while Nicolas Matteo is still leading, and he set the new fastest lap of the race. It's a 1:36.4, while Ryman is behind him. He's already, after 3 laps, almost 8 seconds behind, and followed by Cacharo, Re, J. Cole, Sinestra, Matteo Pittaccio, Stig, Hero Gods, Lolaker, Optimus Prime, Placha, Sergi MZ, Danny and Ruben.
And in this lap, I don't know if it's because there has been some problems in the very first part of it, but Ryman has lapped almost 2 seconds or 3 seconds lower than Nicolas Matteo, who is literally flying in these conditions, and he's in a world of his own right now, and he's trying to pull the gap as much as he can while the conditions are favorable to him.
And Nicolas Matteo is still gaining time on the Ryman. You can clearly see by the standings how much he's gaining at the moment. At the end of his lap, he had a gap of 7.8 on Ryman, and now he's already 8.8. So he already gained 1 second on Ryman in less than 1 lap.
Yeah,
Pittaccio with the Stig.
A really strong pace.
Pittaccio is fighting with Stig. Stig trying on the inside on Pittaccio. They are wheel to wheel. Ooh, they have to be careful. There's not so much space there for for two cars still side by side. Pitaccio controlling the car, while Nicolas Matteo with 36.3 sets another new fastest lap, and it looks like Matteo Pitaccio is bringing his car back to the pits.
I don't know if it's for damage or it's just a very early pit stop. It's actually the first one to pull into the pits.
Something different.
Or maybe it's time for the intermediates.
So
maybe
at the moment, maybe I saw Sergi before. He's not struggling that much, but
no. In fact, he gained a little bit. But we have to see.
It's still not the perfect situation, maybe. And Pitaccio, Sergi, look at this. Look at this.
It is the perfect situation, actually. It is. 1:35.7 is the fastest lap of the race by quite some margin.
Quite some margin, and now Sergi attacking Matteo Pitaccio, who is trying to defending himself, taking the center of the track, and Sergi still have to stay behind the Renault of the Formula Nation driver.
Yeah, it's...
And look at Nicolas Matteo. He opened the gap of almost 12 seconds on Ryman.
He's super fast in these difficult conditions, and there's a little bit of a train starting to form behind behind Ryman. So maybe his pace is not that great in these conditions. We have to see if he tries to do something different with the strategy and pull right into the pits. Right now, we have to see.
Oh, he's going wide. He's going wide. Oh,
and the
I don't know. I don't know. I think it's not the right call for Ryman. The right call is for Casciaro, who decided to pull himself out of this train for changing the tires to intermediate tires, maybe following what his teammate have done before. And Sinestra is doing the same. All the Formula Nation drivers are going on intermediates.
They are going all for... They put all their eggs into one basket, as the going and the saying goes. And let's see if it pays off, because right now they are all three there at the back, but they will be gaining a lot of time.
Well, actually, we still have Sergi behind Matteo Pitaccio. Don't know if drivers at the moment are still using the DRS. I didn't have the opportunity to check that. Optimus Prime is struggling a lot on super soft tires, and Matteo Pitaccio and Sergi are right on his tail. And Matteo Pitaccio going for the overtake at the end of the first sector, and yes, he got it. He's now up into 10 behind his teammate, and now Sergi on the outside on Optimus Prime, and yes, he got it.
That's really
he
good
gained.
move.
That's a really good move, especially in these conditions when the track is pretty much slippery.
Yeah, and that was an important one, because Sergi couldn't afford to lose time behind a slower car, because he would lose the train of Matteo Pitaccio and would...
Ryman in, and J. Cole and Ray, everybody in this lap, and Nicolas Matteo Stig, he is also still on track, while the other member of Polish team, Hero Gods, is back in the pits, and Stig received right now a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings.
Yeah, I don't know if Nicolas Matteo and Sergi are in contact, but at the moment Sergi seems to be the faster one, and he doesn't seem to be giving any information to his teammate about the conditions right now. He's
actually, I don't know, Casciaro at the moment is 13 seconds, actually 12.7 from Stig, so he will be surely ahead of the Ferrari F1 Polish driver when Stig, and if Stig will decide to go back to the pits for the intermediates, while Nicolas Matteo have more than 20 seconds on Stig and 32 seconds on Casciaro.
I might be trying to give an explanation about Nicolas Matteo staying out right now. Maybe he doesn't think one set of intermediates can go the distance to the end of the race, so he's trying to stretch this initial stint to a point where he can put on the intermediates and safely run to the end. Maybe
sorry,
even
Sergi on the outside with Pitaccio, and Pitaccio still able to defend his position, to defend his actually 6th place. So let me give you a a recap of the situation at the moment. Only Nicolas Matteo and Stig, along with Dani, Placha and Ruben, are actually on dry tires, and Stig
has spit now.
Spit right now, so he is also on intermediate. So the situation now tells us that Nicolas Matteo is leading with just a little more than half a minute on Simo Casciaro. Then we have Sinestra, Ryan Pitaccio, Servigi, MTZ, and Sergi on Pitaccio again. Let's see if this time will be the good one. And yes, it is. At turn 3, Sergi up into 5th.
And we will see now if he has the pace to go away and try and regain some ground on Ryman, who is right ahead of him. Was fallen a little bit back from Sinestra and Casciaro after his stop, so Ryman's struggling a little bit with the slippery conditions in general, maybe.
Well, another driver that looks like he's struggling at the moment
is on the inside, and he goes past Casciaro.
That was a really risky point where you want to try and overtake in this condition. Another driver that looks like he's struggling at the moment is Matteo Pitaccio, who's been already overtaken by J. Cole, and now he's defending himself from the McLaren of Ray 97195.
It might be also a little bit of a strategy call here, because J. Cole has fresher tires and they both belong to the same team actually, but yeah, it's a difficult moment for Matteo Pitaccio, who has to defend now from Rail, even to help his teammate to go away and try to make his pace.
And in the meantime, Nicolas Matteo decided to return to the pit and goes also on intermediate tires, but he still have 7-second gap on Sinestra. Now Nicolas Matteo will maybe have 1 lap of more struggling with those tires until they are going to be on the optimal operation window, but then I do believe that the Mercedes and SUV drivers will be able to stretch the gap one more time. Let's see what's going to happen, because it looks like Sinestra is pretty competitive tonight.
Yeah, even in the intermediate condition he was led by Casciaro, so it's likely that he's the faster of the two, and now he's starting to make up some ground on Nicolas Matteo, maybe even taking advantage of the tires who are a little bit more in temperature for him, and while Matteo just came out of the pits.
Wow. Well, let's see which will be his pace at the moment. Sinestra, 7.7 from the lead, followed by Casciaro, less than a second from the Renault driver. Then we have Ryman in 4th, 1.5 seconds from Casciaro. At 3.2 we have Sergi, at 1.7 Cole, and then right behind him we have Pitaccio and Ray. Much more distance, 7 seconds from the McLaren driver in 8th place. Actually 6.6. We have Hero Gods and Stig that are actually in 9th and 10th place. Then Lolaker, Danny MG, Optimus Prime, Placha and Ruben. And looking at the tires at the moment, Danny, Ruben and Placha are still on the soft tires. It looks like maybe they want to wait something. Maybe they want to wait the rain to stop.
Or maybe they just think we are in a moment which is really, really puzzling, because I just went on board on Casciaro's car, who was under a second from Sinestra, and he did open his DRS. So the DRS is not disabled yet, and the conditions are changing pretty much very slowly, I think. So we have to see how.
Well, the race is still long at the moment. 19 laps to go. We are on lap 10 out of 29 here in Melbourne. Nicolas Matteo almost lost the wheel of his car at the exit of turn 15. I'm pretty pretty curious to see which will be the pace of Nicolas Matteo in this condition. We saw a 34.7
well, now you
from
see
Stig.
that.
Yeah, 34.6, but gonna tell you what, he was not much more faster than Stig, and Stig is actually in 10th place. Stig sets a 34.7 one lap ago, and now Nicolas Matteo a 34.6. Maybe Nicolas Matteo will find a much more higher limit in this lap with these tires. As you can see, the more laps you do under this condition, the more you understand which is really the limit of the car, the limit of the tires, where you can find more traction. You really find a way to improve yourself, to improve your lifetimes.
Yeah, but this fastest lap by Nicolas Matteo seems to have put something into Sinestra's car, because he has gained a little bit in the first sector. Maybe he has woken up a little bit, and we have to see.
Oh, sector 1, there's a yellow flag. Let's see what happened. Oh, it's Optimus Prime. Yep. Optimus Prime spun at the turn 1, and he's rejoining the track right now with Ruben VG right behind him.
On the soft tires still?
Yes, we have Danny, Ruben, and Placha still on soft tires at the moment. Well, Nicolas Matteo this time is not improving. He's almost half a second slower than before. So you can see this is a 35.1 from Nicolas Matteo, while Sinestra is on 34.6. It's a new fastest lap of the race. And also Ryman have been able to catch Casciaro in 3rd place. So he is still fighting for a podium tonight.
Yeah, that's a really strong pace from Sinestra. As I was saying, he has stepped up a little bit since he saw Matteo doing his fastest lap, and now maybe he's just trying to get used and get into the rhythm of these intermediate conditions.
And I was also taking a look at Pitaccio and Ray in 7th and 8th place. They are still fighting for the 7th spot, but Pitaccio still is able to maintaining his place. Looks like Pitaccio and Ray at the moment are on basically 2 identical race paces.
Yeah, maybe, and that's the situation where you just, if you are behind, you just take the car ahead and follow along and try to save some fuel and relax a little bit and let the other car drag you maybe into the others. But that's not really the case, because J. Cole is faster than this pair.
Ryman right in the back of Casciaro, while Sinestra is still gaining. Nicolas Matteo answering us with a 1:34.2, which is the new fastest lap of the race. Sinestra 1:34.8, and you can clearly see that Ryman have battle intention on Casciaro, but he almost lost the rear of his car at the exit of turn 1, going on the synthetic grass there. There are 0.6 of a second between Simo Casciaro and Ryman at the moment. They are fighting for 3rd place. And still Ray right in the back of Pitaccio, but still not able to go through him.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the DRS is also still enabled, because it's not raining that much. But I don't really see also any spray coming out of the cars, of the back of the cars. So it's really,
it's a tricky situation at least.
Yeah, it's really difficult to see in which direction we are going. But
oh, Placha going out. Placha going out, and he's just been. Nicolas Matteo was arriving there, and Placha has just been lapped by Nicolas Matteo. Placha, look at how much he is struggling, and he is going back to the pits. I don't know what happened. He's going very, very slow.
Yeah, I think he lost his front wing, actually.
Yeah, maybe
or a part of it, but I can see from the onboard he has at least one part of his front wing missing. Yeah, he does change it. In fact.
Another 34.3 for Nicolas Matteo, who have now a 9.1 second gap on Sinestra. Casciaro is still fighting with Ryman, the Formula Championship driver, looking to regain the podium. And Sinestra, I gotta tell you why Sinestra is trying to push that much, because you can see now that Sinestra have just 3 seconds and 3.1 second gap on Casciaro. That's because Sinestra have a 3-second time penalty. So that's why he was trying to pull him away, because he know that at the end of the race he will pay this penalty. So that's why.
Yeah.
Looking at the standings, the other drivers who already have a penalty, we have the Ferrari of Stig with 3 seconds, and 3 seconds for the Mercedes of Danny MG and Ruben VG. So these are the 4 drivers that at the moment, when we are at the half of the race, we are on lap 14 out of 29, have actually a 3-second time penalty on the back.
Yeah, I think it is a matter also for 134.1.
He's going for a
he's really getting into the groove now, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Now Sinestra is still on his times. He's always on a high 34, 34.8, 34.9, 34.7, 34.6. And Sergi, Sergi is in the pits. Maybe he's gonna try something different. No.
Just a change of tires.
Yeah, new sets of intermediate.
Yeah, maybe, as I was saying before, these tires couldn't last to the end, and actually Sergio was the very first to put them on, so it might be reasonable that that they had done their time. So
maybe
that was time to change them, and I will see if his pace is any better on these new and fresher intermediates. But I wanted to point out something, if you... It's,
sure.
It's that Nicolas Matteo is using much more of his ERS in comparison to Sinestra, who was almost his bar completely full, while Nicolas Matteo has only like 32% or 35%, and he is trying to extract the maximum even from this little detail, and that may be the difference in the times, because he is going really very much faster.
And maybe this time he decided to calm down a little bit. Here comes a 34.7 for Nicolas Matteo. Oh, Sinestra, he lost a lot of time.
He made a mistake, I think.
36.4, yes.
Must have done a little mistake, maybe.
Simo Casciaro still try to defend with his tip. His third place, his podium. Ryman now is very close, but there's not enough space for him to dive inside of the ass of Simo Casciaro. And we missed something. We missed something because Re have finally overtook Matteo Pittaccio, and now he's in 6th place and he's gaining on the Renault Matteo Pittaccio. Now there's a 1 second gap between them, 1.2. You can clearly see that the gap is expanding very fast.
Yeah, maybe there is a little bit of a cliff in this intermediate tires at around 11-12 laps, because that's when Sergi pitted. He had like 12-13 laps old tires, so he decided to pit, and now Matteo Pittaccio is losing a little bit of time, and his laps are 11 laps old, so maybe we can say that, and we will see if this confirms also with other drivers.
Nicolas Matteo going for a new fastest lap, but he missed that for 0.48 cents of a second. So
wow.
He sets another 134.1, and Sinestra decide to put his car in the pit. So as we were talking about before, looks like this tire can last for 10-12 laps, not more.
Yeah, that
And
might
even
be the...
J. Cole, Pitaccio, Stig, everybody is in the pit, and Pitaccio also was not that lucky because his teammate Sinestra stopped a little bit before him, and the mechanics have spent a little bit more time before putting new tires into his car.
Yeah, but I don't think he actually lost any positions due to that, but he definitely lost a little bit of time, which will cost him in the battle with the Re, because now he has to push even more to gain that little... Wow, Ryman has...
Ryman con Casciaro, yeah. Ooh. Big control by Ryman at the exit of turn 9, and Casciaro wants to dive inside the Ryman, not enough. Now with the switchback Mugu, look at this, at the exit of the chicane. Casciaro on the inside,
yeah,
Ryman on the outside, and yes, he got it. Simo Casciaro back into second place at the moment. Ryman again looking at the inside here, and there's a contact between them. The rear left tire of Ryman with the front left of Casciaro, but they are still very close to each other. Ryman want to continue. Yes, it is, but Casciaro bring his car back into the pits.
And now he has to push like hell when he gets back on track, because if he wants that position back, now he has his best chance.
Pretty sure that Sinestra with his Renault will be ahead of the ass of Simo Casciaro, who have already left his pit stop, left his box, and he's now leaving the pit lane. Looks like he's going to be ahead of Sergi MTZ.
Just about.
They are... maybe Sergi will have the opportunity to attack Casciaro, because now Casciaro is on cold tires, and Sergi on the outside of turn 3. Let's see if Casciaro will try to brake as early as he can. Another bit of contact between them, and Casciaro in the end had to stay behind, but I'm pretty sure he can be faster than Torosso. So this is precious time for Casciaro. This is precious time lost for him.
Yeah, that's really bad for him, because as I said before, he has to push, and well, the Toro Rosso has just come out of the pits like 3 laps ago, so it's not that bad actually, but in that battle he lost a little bit of time, which may cost him.
Very loud.
Wow.
33.9, so at the end of his 9th lap on these tires, Nicolas Matteo told us that these tires are still in good shape.
Yep.
And right on back to the pit.
And maybe he listened to him and wanted just to tell me what the hell are you talking about, because that's that's a really stunning lap for being done with this whole tires.
Sinestra, think about that. Sinestra with our newest tires sets a fastest lap that was only 0.3 of a second faster than Nicolas Matteo with 10 lap older tires.
While Simo Casciaro has managed to jump Ryman.
Ahead of Ryman, yeah.
Despite being held up behind Sergi, he did manage to go that little bit faster than he needed to come out ahead of Ryman, who takes a really big risk now.
And now the fact is that with those positions, S2V Sergi is actually fighting with Casciaro and Ryman, so they are on the same strategy. Yes, Sergi have older tires. They are he have a 4-lap older tire, then Ryman a 3-lap older tire than Casciaro, but now they have to fight. If they want the place on Sergi, they have to take it on track.
And I'll tell you one thing you might have missed. There is low lacquer on super soft tires. He put on these tires 2 laps ago, and he's not losing that much to F1 Hero. So We'll see. We'll see. Maybe he's done this just for his teammates to give them a little bit of information. But
maybe it could also be.
Yeah, we have to see. Let's see if it pays off. And now Matteo has pitted and is rejoined in the lead, which he has never left.
Yeah, since the beginning of the race, he never lost the lead of the leadership of the race. At the moment, he still have to retake the fastest lap to
Sinestra.
To make a Grand Chelem.
Yep. Yeah. And that would be
Cacharo. I think this is going to be an interesting trio with Sergi, Cacharo, and Ryman. All three fighting for the podium.
We have to say, Sergi made a really, really good comeback with that strategy call with the intermediates. Yeah. He had lost time. He was he had to pit early. He decided to fit on the intermediates very early, and now it has paid off. And he has to try and defend now as hard as he can until the end of the race for his 9 laps remaining.
So I'm taking a look at the race director panel, because Sergi have 1 warning, Cacharo have no warning, and Ryman have 1 warning. So they, at the moment, they're also far from the possibility of taking a 3-second time penalty, while Ruben with 33.1 sets the new fastest lap of the race, while Nicolas Matteo still leading with 10 seconds and 0.3 ahead of Sinestra in 2nd place. In 3rd place, we have Sergi immediately followed by Simo, Cacharo and Ryman that are in 4th place and 5th place, and they are fighting for the podium. Then we have J. Cole in 6th, Ray in 7th, Matteo Pitaccio in 8th place, then Stig and Hero Gods for F1 Polish team in 9th and 10th place, then Lolacker, Dani, Ruben, Optimus Prime and Placha closing the group. And actually Placha is also the only driver who's been already lapped by the leader of the race.
Yeah, he's not having the best of times today, really unlucky from the start of the race, so...
Yeah. So somebody from the chat is asking us to recapitalize the situation of the penalties. So Sinestra in 2nd place have a 3-second time penalty, while that new 3-second time penalty has been given to Ruben VG. Then a 3-second time penalty for both F1 PL Stig and F1 Heroes God. 6-second time penalty for Danny MG and Ruben VG, and 3-second time penalty for Placha in 15th place. Oh, Cacharo now is really close to Sergi, trying on the inside. It's just a feint. Nicolas Matteo 1:33.108.
He's
new
running
race
away
fastest
with
lap. Yeah. And now the Grand Chelem is back in his hands at the moment. Pole position starts. Never lost the lead of the race since the beginning, and now, of course, the fastest lap of the race.
Yeah, he's done a great job since the qualifying session.
Again. That means Dani is now on a total of 9 seconds. Yeah. And tell you one more thing. If Sergi, Cacharo and Ryman wants to fight, they have to be careful, because right behind them is not so far, it's 3 seconds from them, we have J. Cole. So they have to be careful, because if they start fighting each other, I really think that J. Cole will be ready there to enjoy the train and make it a 4-car train.
And now we have also to keep an eye on the battle for 8th position, because Matteo Pitaccio is followed very closely by Stig, just under a second, and we have seen how fast Stig is in these conditions. He has just been a little bit unlucky in the first part of the race, but then he has shown to have quite a good pace, and now he is trying to go and catch Matteo Pitaccio, who has to be really, really careful from now on.
Again, Placha out in turn 1. Oh, he's really struggling. And Nicolas Matteo 1:33.1 again. Ruben 32.9.
Wow.
Don't know if Nicolas Matteo will be really happy about that.
I don't think he will be, but he is a teammate of him, so
yeah. Lap 23 out of 29. Nicolas Matteo from S2B Sport Team leading the race ahead of Sinestra. Then Sergi Casciaro, Ryan, Jacob Ray, and Matteo Pitaccio for the one who have started to join us right now. Sorry, but Simo Casciaro have almost lost his car at the exit of turn 2, and he lost a little bit the contact from the rear of the Toro Rosso of Sergi. But they are still there. They are still there. 6 laps to go.
And this
Nicolas
battle
Matteo
is the most important of the race right now, because it is basically worth a spot on the podium.
Yeah. Sinestra is actually in a safe place. He have almost 8 seconds on Sergi. He's still gaining on the Toro Rosso. He's gaining lap by lap. So as you can see now, he really have 8.0 seconds of advantage on the Toro Rosso on this train there. And J. Cole is lapping on the same pace of these 3 drivers. He's always there, 3.0, 3.1, 3.2, 3.0. He's always on almost a 3-second gap on them. Now 2.9, but just for a nick of time.
Yeah, and Stig continues to be close to Matteo Pitaccio, but just like Ray did before the pit stops, cannot quite have the pace to overtake him. And even with the DRS, which is still active, I would like to point out, never been disabled on all these race. Wow! Wow! As I say that, I was speaking of.
Wow! So the DRS has been disabled by the race direction. So that means that actually the track is being declared officially wet by the race direction.
Yeah, and now we'll see. Well, it becomes clear that Lollaker's choice of the Supersoft is the wrong one, because he's losing heaps of time now to Danny. He has quite a safe lead actually to Ruben. He could safely pit and come out ahead because he has 33 seconds to Ruben. But anyway, it is. Well, it becomes the wrong choice now, officially.
133.1 for Nicolas Matteo, still lapping like a hammer on the low 33. Sergi is on the mid 34, same as Casciaro and Ryman. Ryman is struggling behind him. It looks like Sergi and Casciaro always have a little bit more gap on Ryman.
Yeah, Ryman seems to be, as I was saying, a little bit in difficulty in these tricky conditions, and now he might be taking a little bit of a break because also staying right behind the car is quite difficult. But I am really curious to see the last lap between these 3 guys, because going hammer and tongue for a spot on the podium is something that will throw up some spice there. Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see.
And we were talking about Lollaker before. Lollaker is heading back to the pits and pretty sure is going to go on a new intermediate tires. And yes, it is intermediate tires for Lollaker with the still 4 laps to go. And Lollaker is in 12th place at the moment. And he's rejoining, not behind Ruben. He's behind Danny MG, but not behind Ruben. Now Ruben is right, he's not so far from him, but there are 4 seconds between them, 4.2 seconds.
Yeah, he had a comfortable lead, so he decided to pit because it didn't make sense to risk.
Simo Casciaro is really close now. on Sergi. Let's see if he will be able to try to attack the tunnel also. But it looks like Sergi, oh, we have a good... Oh, it tried on the inside! He
shows the nose
far
there.
Yeah. He shows the nose. Oh, and he almost lost the wrong car. And Ryman is immediately back behind him. And J. Cole, let's see if J. Cole will take advantage of the situation. Actually, he is still 2.9 from them. Oh, look at this, 2.7 now.
Yeah, this battle will lose them a lot of time. So J. Cole has to be there and be ready for anything that can happen, because he's not out of the question.
So now Nicolas Matteo still leading. 16 seconds on Sinestra in second. Then we have Sergi, 7.5 from Sinestra in third place. As you can see, he's immediately followed by Cacharo and Ryman. J. Cole now almost 2.5 seconds from Ryman.
Oh,
Simo Cacharo on the inside, and that's a brilliant move. That's a brilliant move by Cacharo, but it was brilliant, but still not enough to gain third place, to gain the podium. And now Sergi defending himself. There's a yellow flag in sector 3. Cacharo on the outside of turn 1. Let's see if maybe he will be able to make the switchback move on Sergi, but Sergi have a brilliant exit out of turn 2. And now Cacharo has to look his mirror because Ryman is very close. Cacharo, he is going a little bit, he tried a little bit too much with the breaking point there, and he goes wide almost. And now Ryman on the inside of Cacharo. There's no space there. And Cacharo on the grass, and Ryman too. Oh my God! And there's also Placha on the inside at the exit of turn 6. Oh, that was a really dangerous situation. And the man who was gaining all the advantage of the world of this situation is Sergi, that now have a 2-second gap on both Cacharo and Ryman. And also J. Cole and Ray are right behind Cacharo and Ryman.
Yeah, they are going all out attack now. It's full attack mode for all the drivers, and to be honest, Sergi did a fantastic job defending from Cacharo, because had he lost his position, he would have been in this fight as well, and he would have not gained that 2-second lead, who now puts him in a prime position to be on the podium.
Yes, it is. We still have 2 laps to go. Another time, a yellow flag in sector 3. Oh, Placha is struggling so much.
Wow. Yeah, I think he's
2 laps
just
to go.
letting other drivers by. Wow, what a risk for Optimus Prime.
Again. Oh, and there's also a fight between F1 Hero Gods and Danny. Danny, who is trying to overtake Hero Gods, but remember that Danny at the moment have much more. 12-second time penalty. The Ferrari have only a 3-second time penalty, so that means he have to gain 9 seconds in just 2 laps. Don't think it's going to be possible.
No, but for the sake of the show, this is a really good fight, actually.
Ah, yeah, sure. Sergi now maintaining his lead on Cacharo and Ryman, but it looks like Cacharo is gaining on the Toro Rosso, and again he's under 1 second. There are just 0.8 of a second now between them. Are we gonna see another battle in the last lap? What do you think?
Well, I think if Sergi isn't careful enough, we will, because Cacharo is really wanting that podium, has been really wanting it, and he showed that with that move, that lunge up the inside he did just a couple of laps ago, and now he's going for it once again. I don't think this is over.
Nicolas Matteo already started the last lap, same as Sinestra. Only now, Sergi, Cacharo and Ryman cross the finish line to begin the last lap. The lap number 29 of the race. Still so far from Cacharo. Look at this. How much he's getting closer while braking into turn 3. And he's right in the back of Sergi once again. And I really think that Sergi is he's really struggling with those tires. These are 40. Oh, Plach out. He was struggling that much after.
And his car is right in the middle of the track. Oh my God!
Wow! There's a contact between them, and they almost touch. And there's Ryman trying to get advantage of the situation, but he's still in there in 5th place. So they touch Kashara and Sergi. And now Ryman riding his back, and Ryman gets a 3-second time penalty. Just while he was in the back of Kashara, he's out of the question. But it looks like also Kashara is out of the question. Who is not out of the question is Nicolas Matteo, wins the first race of the 2019 Formula Europe Championship. And now also the Renault of Sinestra coming on the finish line. And he finished 2nd. Sergi on the last corner, Ryman had overtook Kasharo, but with the 3 seconds he had, he will be back into 5th place. And look at this, how much he lost. He lost the position on both Cole and Ray with those 3 seconds. That's a tragedy for Ryman. He was fighting for the podium, and in just 3 corners, he not only lost the podium, he finished in 7th place.
And this shows how close that midfield was. Just 3 seconds of penalty in the last lap, and on the finish line, Raymond went plummeting down the the finish order. So that's that's really gutting for him, because he did a strong race no matter what. He was there fighting for the podium, and to find yourself in 7th position, it's really gutting, I think. But really good job by Sergi keeping that position, and also coming back from a start that wasn't really what he had planned, but he managed to turn the race on his upside down, I would say, and come away with the podium. So it's a double.
What they were hoping at the beginning of the race, when they had 3 drivers in the first 3 spots of the race, and then you saw what happened in the 2nd lap with Sergi losing the car and hitting his teammate. His teammate hit him from the back of the exit of turn 6. It looks like their race was compromised, but in the end they managed to get 2 cars on podium. So after the podium and the celebration, these are the standing with S2V Nicolas Matteo winning the race ahead of Sinestra and his teammate S2V Sergi, then Casharo, J. Cole, Ray, Ryman, Matteo Pitaccio in 8th, F1 PL Stig, F1 Hero Gods in 10th place, 11th for S2V Danny MG, 12th place for Lolacker, 13th place for S2V Ruben VG, 14th place retired in the last few moments of the race. I was making a recap of the standings. So now we just waiting for the first 3 drivers to join us for the post-race interviews. So I just want to ask you an opinion on the race. After what you saw tonight, who do you think that will be the favorite team to advance to the finals?
Well, of course, I've seen really well the SUV guys, because they had really strong pace. Also, both in qualifying and in the race, they have been a little bit unlucky and also made a little bit of mistakes, apart from Nicolas Matteo. But I think they are in a prime position to go ahead and take this group. Hey, but we'll have to wait and see because that midfield is so close. So anyone that can manage to take away a little bit of points here and there might be really important for their team. So we have to see also from the other races.
Well, there are still 2 races to go because after this we're still gonna have a 50% races and then a 100% races, the third and last one of the qualification phase of the tournament. Then, after all these procedures and at the end of these 3 races, the first team of each group will can classify teams of each group, and the two faster second teams that will earn the most points in the knockout phase will also advance to the finals. So we're gonna have 5 teams competing in the finals that will be competing on 6 races. So at the moment here with us we have only Sinestra. So we don't want to lose more time. So while we are waiting for the 2 S2B drivers to join the party and the post-race interviews, we would like to proceed with Sinestra. So it was a very good race for you, a very good race because you earn a second place. You looks like you were having a good pace tonight, and the results have been really clear about that.
Well, first of all, thank you and good evening, everybody. Yeah, it was a very difficult race, probably one of the most difficult races I've ever done. We knew about the rain in qualifying, so we kind of went all out to try and set the fastest lap and managed to get P5, so I was very happy with my lap. And then in the race, we were very surprised to start on slick tires. We were expecting to start on intermediates, and therefore the first couple of laps were very difficult. But yeah, I managed to stay focused despite a big mistake on lap one. I went from P5 to like P10, and despite that, we got the strategy spot on thanks to our engineers and to everybody that helped us tonight. And it was a very difficult race, yeah. I had to keep my tires in temperature and try not to wear them too much. It was very difficult, especially in the first stint, and I didn't know where I was, if I was going to finish the race on my intermediate tires. And therefore, the last couple of laps, I really had to save the tires and just bring the car home. But it's a very, very good result for our team, and I'm very, very proud of my teammates.
Okay, we saw the condition get worse at only in the last 4 or 5 laps, to say the least. So, talking about the situation, the weather situation, it looks like really tricky during the race. You told us that you were surprised by the fact that the game let you start with slick tires. How was the condition? How were the condition of the track at the beginning of the race with the slick tires and the rain coming down?
Well, in the warm-up lap, it was very difficult. We were sliding all over the place. There was no grip at all. It was incredibly difficult. And therefore, the first couple of laps, we were just trying to find our feet and try to see where we could brake earlier, where we could brake later than the others, and kind of trying to see how we had to adapt to the conditions. And it was very difficult, and we didn't know which tires to put on, whether slicks or intermediates in the first stop, because the engineer, the game engineer, kept on telling us to put on slicks, but we were kind of sure of intermediates, so we risked it with all 4 drivers of our team, and luckily went well. But yeah, it was very difficult because throughout the first intermediate stint, from like lap 5 to lap 16, 17, the engineer of the game kept us telling us that we had to put slicks on, which was nowhere near right because the track was clearly wet. Yes. And then there was a couple of laps where maybe slicks would have been better, but in general it was always going to be an intermediate race. But yeah, the first couple of laps, I think they were crucial, and we kind of got lucky a bit to to get the strategy spot on and not break our front wing or destroy our race in the first couple of laps. So it was all about patience, to be honest. And being patient in the first stint helped us in the second and third stints because we had clear track and we could either battle or try and pull away from the others and try to set our pace.
Okay, we'll be joined here tonight by race winner SUV Nicolas Matteo. So, Nicolas, your race was amazing. You shown everybody a great pace, and it looks like you were doing another job compared to the other drivers on track.
Rubén, dile eso.
Yeah, sure.
Pues dime, Rubén, ¿qué ha dicho? Pues ha sido una carrera un poco complicada por la meteorología, ya que la pista estaba muy delicada y el ritmo ha sido bueno durante toda la carrera. Lo, lo he tenido bastante controlado todo, a Sinestra y a todos los demás. Ha sido una carrera un poco complicada por eso, pero por lo demás bastante controlado.
Okay, you were lucky in the second lap because something really strange happened behind you. Because while you were leading the race, your teammate spun at the exit of turn 6 and it's been hit by another of your teammates. So that almost compromised the race of the entire team. But in the end, you and the team managed anyway to put two cars on podium.
Lo he visto un poco jugársela cuando no hacía falta, pero bueno, son cosas que pueden pasar en carrera, un fallo lo puede tener cualquiera y nos ha, nos ha estropeado un posible mejor resultado, pero bueno.
Okay, one more question for Nicolas. If I'm not wrong, I do believe that maybe Ruben stole you the fastest lap, so you were racing for the. You had the pole position. You have maintained the lead for the entire race. You were holding the fastest lap, but Ruben stole the fastest lap, and that didn't let you take the grand slam of the race.
Pues sí, así ha sido. Lo que pasa es que en el último stint, cuando tocaba hacer la vuelta rápida, no quería arriesgar porque sabiendo la posición en la que estaban mis compañeros no era un momento muy bueno para jugársela
Mm.
a tener un posible accidente.
Very wise.
Obviously. Okay, so we were also waiting for Sergi, but I don't know if you guys have any news because we were waiting for him as he finished in third. Ruben, do you have any news about Sergi? Okay. So I do believe it's all for today. So first of all, let me thank my guest tonight. Let me thank Federico for being my guest here in commentary.
Thank you, Luca. It's been a pleasure.
Obviously, let me also thank the guys from the broadcast direction, the race direction, all the staff behind this live broadcast we've give you tonight. So thank you, everybody. And also a big thank you to the guys who have joined us here tonight on the podium. So thanks to Nicolas, thanks to Ruben, thanks to Sinestra who have been with us for the post-race interviews tonight. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're waiting for you tomorrow night for the Group B race of the 2019 Formula Europe Championship. We'll see you tomorrow night. Thank you for joining us. God bless you and have a good night.